Earth's mightiest heroes have starred in dozens upon dozens of video games in the last 4 decades. The iconic web-slinger's first interactive adventure dates back to the Spider-Man action game released on the Atari 2600 in 1982. That same decade also saw the Hulk and Captain America migrate to the world of gaming. However, an actual Avengers game would not hit the market until Data East shipped its arcade beat-em-up Captain America and the Avengers in 1991. A range of mobile games, crossover titles, and LEGO-branded experiences have since allowed players to assemble their favorite heroes. Yet, no title was expected to capture the weight of being an Avenger quite like 2020's Marvel's Avengers. Alongside Marvel games, developer Crystal Dynamics and publisher Square Enix unveiled Marvel's Avengers during E3 2019, making promises that engendered high hopes for the quality of the project. Free and regular post-launch content updates counted among the selling points, as did the insistence that pay-to-win scenarios would have no place in the final product. Within approximately 1 year of the Marvel's Avengers release on PC and consoles, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix sat on the receiving end of furious backlash for backtracking on both promises. Platform-exclusive content, performance issues, and unwanted revisions to the core systems further compounded the negative discourse that long plagued Marvel's Avengers. These shortcomings and myriad others hurt Square Enix's bottom line too, while Crystal Dynamics' commitment to improving the live service occasionally bore fruit. Some of the studio's efforts seemed exemplary of taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. This is the tragedy of Marvel's Avengers.
Peter Quill, wake up.
Holy crap, Drax. You gotta stop doing this, man. It's weird.
We are approaching the quarantine zone.
Marvel's gaming vertical has always partnered with a variety of developers and publishers, striking out on some occasions, while hitting pay dirt after inking deals with the likes of PlayStation and Insomniac Games. According to Marvel Games Vice President and Creative Director Bill Roseman, the entertainment giant sought out cross-media collaborators who could reinterpret Marvel's stories and simultaneously uphold the brand's DNA. Crystal Dynamics' acclaimed reimagining of the Tomb Raider IP with its 2013 reboot accomplished as much with respect to Lara Croft, inspiring Marvel's interest in teaming up with the Redwood City-based development house. The public first learned of such a deal in January 2017 when Marvel Entertainment and Square Enix jointly announced the Avengers project, the tentative title for a superhero game produced by Crystal Dynamics in conjunction with Deus Ex developer Eidos Montreal. A 50-second teaser trailer accompanied the news, featuring imagery of Mjolnir, Captain America's shield, and bits of Iron Man's armor scattered in rubble. While the companies initially planned on sharing more details in 2018, the Avengers project wouldn't re-enter the limelight until E3 2019. And it did so in style, thanks to a lengthy presentation that began with Marvel's Avengers' now famous A-Day trailer, which offered a glimpse at the opening segment, wherein a celebration of the super team's new West Coast headquarters ends catastrophically for San Francisco. The reveal also featured the first mention of cooperative gameplay options and live service elements, touted as supplements to the story-driven single-player campaign. Crystal Dynamics representatives preemptively mitigated any cause for concern, with one developer guaranteeing the title would never include random loot boxes or pay-to-win scenarios. Although the E3 reveal went off without a hitch, Crystal Dynamics faced the slings and arrows of skepticism in the days following the announcement. Online reactions to the A-Day trailer suggested many were displeased with the designs of the confirmed playable characters: Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, the Hulk, and Thor. Much of the criticism revolved around each hero's uncanny similarities to their MCU counterpart, whereby the character designs looked close, but veered too far into the realm of cheap knockoffs. The outcry didn't result in any immediate changes, yet every Avenger received subtle visual updates ahead of launch, with Black Widow's and Thor's character models undergoing the most drastic alterations. But the confirmation of microtransactions in Marvel's Avengers sounded the loudest alarm bells in terms of post-E3 2019 news. Creative director Sean Eskai shared cursory details in an IGN interview, teasing the custom outfits players could purchase through an in-game store. S-Guy's assurance that all in-game purchases would purely serve aesthetic customization and hold no bearing on gameplay somewhat lessened the blow. The public's faith in Crystal Dynamics' ability to uphold such promises later faltered, however. This video has been brought to you in part by Manscaped.com. Have you been noticing a scent around your gaming station lately? Thanks to Manscaped, foul odors and unruly bushes are a thing of the past. Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 comes with the Lawnmower 4.0, featuring skin-safe technology, a powerful LED and waterproof design, in addition to the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray, plus a Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. And for a limited time only, the Performance Package 4.0 comes with not one, but 2 free gifts. So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping when using our code at manscaped.com. All of your body will thank you. Consider the developer's most ambitious project by head of studio Scott Amos. Marvel's Avengers proved a behemoth of a game to develop. As a result, 4 different teams served in support roles, namely Eidos Montreal, Nix's, Crystal Dynamics' Bellevue-based satellite Crystal Northwest, and Square Enix Japan's Tech Group. Amos told GamesIndustry.biz that the core team additionally had to adjust its production style by hiring top talent from across the industry. Former Uncharted and The Last of Us developer Sean S-Guy brought his narrative experience. Meanwhile, Call of Duty and Halo veteran Dave Fifield provided key insights regarding multiplayer. And lead combat designer Vince Napoli jumped on board after wrapping up God of War 2018. Crystal Dynamics more or less assembled a dream team of its own to bring the Avengers to life like never before. Yet players wouldn't get to experience the fruits of the studio's labor in May 2020 as planned. Months ahead of its originally scheduled due date, Crystal Dynamics delayed Marvel's Avengers to September 2020, citing a need for extra production time to ensure the final product met the high standards fans expected and deserved. The news update, penned by co-heads of studios Scott Amos and Ron Rosenberg, expressed confidence that the resulting experience would prove well worth the wait. Critics and players alike called said confidence into question when the launch date finally arrived. However, a few feathers were ruffled before then. Details concerning Spider-Man's PlayStation exclusivity, alongside an extensive breakdown of the in-game economy, raised a red flag or two in the weeks leading up to Marvel's Avengers. While Crystal Dynamics previously confirmed PlayStation bonuses such as early beta access and unique benefits, many argued Spider-Man was too significant of a character to lock to one platform. The Byzantine in-game economy and its $10 hero-specific battle passes similarly caused a stir on the eve of the game's launch. Little did anyone know, such concerns would soon prove the least of the development studio's problems. Mixed beta impressions the month ahead of release clouded the discourse surrounding Marvel's Avengers. Ultimately, the title's flawed September 2020 rollout on Google Stadia, PC, PS4, and Xbox One demonstrated why those who participated in the beta sessions walked away with reservations. The awe-inspiring visuals and finely crafted gameplay meshed well with the single-player story campaign, leaving Marvel's Avengers players itching for more action. Yet the scarcity of more action was precisely the problem. The loot-based endgame content felt sparse at best, its repetitive and dissatisfying live service offerings giving users few reasons to stick around long-term. And the range of performance issues and immersion-breaking bugs only exacerbated what had become a rather turbulent launch for one of the year's most eagerly anticipated games. Crystal Dynamics tackled a litany of errors shortly after launch, with the first major patch addressing over 1,000 known issues across all platforms. The update resolved everything from graphical fixes and matchmaking bugs to combat hiccups and progression blocking glitches. These efforts did nothing to stall the mass exodus from Marvel's Avengers, evidenced by its Steam player count falling below 3,000 before the end of September. By early October, the PC player base had dipped to sub 1,000 users, culminating in the rise of matchmaking difficulties. As interest in the live service waned, Scott Amos issued a statement claiming the development team's then upcoming plans would encourage users on PC and consoles to return in droves. A couple of noteworthy content delays followed soon after, though. Crystal Dynamics pushed Kate Bishop's arrival as a playable character to December, while the free PS5 and Xbox Series upgrades moved out of November and into early 2021. Marvel's Avengers shortcomings struck a mighty blow to Square Enix's pocketbooks, since the quarter in which the title launched saw the publisher report a $62 million loss, with net sales down 30% compared to the previous quarter when Final Fantasy VII Remake hit the market. The company avoided the specifics, but games analyst David Gibson noted Marvel's Avengers only achieved 60% of its projected sales, amounting to an estimated 3 million units sold in the first month. Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda later divulged in a November 2020 financial briefing that sales were lower than expected. By then, the Avengers game had even failed to recoup production costs. Matsuda believed ample content offerings would offset slow initial sales, but the growing pains continued well into 2021 and beyond.
What took you so long? Fighting robots? Ha! Me too.
After the Kate Bishop operation arrived in December 2020, the next major update came threefold the following March. Hawkeye's Future Imperfect chapter and free next-gen upgrades for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series fulfilled post-launch promises that had long gone unsatisfied for several months. The March 2021 update's XP nerf constituted the one change the vast majority of players did not appreciate. Dubbed a cosmetic and XP rework, the leveling overhaul increased the grind from level 25 up, requiring users to earn more XP before reaching the next level. The amount of points needed to progress also increased as the 50th level drew nearer, ridding Marvel's Avengers of its original so-called straight-line leveling system. Because the new XP curve met progression milestones took longer to achieve, many read the rework as a seedy attempt at artificially stimulating longer periods of engagement. However, Crystal Dynamics claimed the pre-existing model complicated the game's pacing for newcomers, who felt they gained skill points too quickly. The goal of the XP overhaul, then, rested in guaranteeing each investment of a skill point felt more meaningful. Similar reasoning applied to the March update's cosmetic rework, which made it so random cosmetic drops no longer occurred when players opened strongboxes, completed missions, or leveled up. As such, earning sufficient in-game units constituted the sole way to purchase previously unlocked items, an adjustment the studio equated to providing more player agency and clarity. The ensuing backlash suggested users were displeased with all cosmetic and XP changes, regardless of developer intent. Crystal Dynamics still tried explaining its decision post-Fallout, insisting player feedback inspired the XP nerf. As far as the online community was concerned, Marvel's Avengers demanded fresh content, not a leveling overhaul. To the delight of fans, subsequent months introduced a host of in-game events, content updates, and the Black Panther starring War for Wakanda expansion, the latter of which garnered recognition as the highlight of Marvel's Avengers post-launch releases. But the advent of paid XP boosters in October 2021 halted forward momentum on what many believed had turned into the slow swell of a redemption arc for the live service. Notably, the in-game marketplace sold XP boosters as consumables, speeding up character progression in exchange for real money. Fans were quick to cite the E3 2019 presentation wherein developers proudly proclaimed microtransactions would remain exclusive to cosmetic items. Thus, less than a month after squandering player trust with the addition of XP boosters, Crystal Dynamics removed the offending consumables. Developers hoped their response to the outcry marked the start of restoring community confidence in the Marvel's Avengers team. Several other snags further blemished the games as a service adventure, though. For instance, the long-delayed PlayStation-exclusive Spider-Man expansion lacked new story missions, despite previous teases suggesting otherwise. Gameplay director Philippe Thierry told IGN the decision spawned from a desire to dedicate most resources towards crafting content for all players, which begged the question of why Square Enix even inked an exclusivity deal with Sony. Mishaps with early 2022 updates further complicated the title's occasional bursts of rude health. Crystal Dynamics designed the War Table rework patch to ease the onboarding process for newcomers. However, PS5 crashing issues and the purposeful erasure of multiple mission chains overshadowed the update's well-meaning modifications. Whenever sizable title updates peeked over the horizon then, Marvel's Avengers players knew to prepare for the worst.
end of the road, Clint. What a mess.
During an E3 2019 interview with GamesBeat, Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda called Crystal Dynamics a good fit for Marvel's Avengers, given the studio's pedigree in the action-adventure genre. While addressing shareholders in an annual report 2 years later, Matsuda admitted the disappointing performance of Marvel's Avengers emphasized the importance of matching developers with the types of games that befit previously demonstrated skills. The crew that spent over a decade exclusively producing Tomb Raider adventures had no business managing a multi-year live service experience. Marvel's Avengers shined the brightest in its single-player campaign, building on the storytelling and gameplay strengths Crystal Dynamics accrued after years of serving as the steward of Lara Croft's legacy. And therein lies the ultimate misfortune. Crystal Dynamics did create a good Avengers game, one burdened by a demanding content model its developers were ill-equipped to elevate to the standards associated with the brand and the studio. Thank you for watching. We'd like to take this time to thank, by name, the generous patrons who have pledged to our Hall of Fame reward tier. Alex Moretti, and those currently subscribed to our producer reward tier. Darirap Sigurdsson, GetWrecked.com. Landy K. Hayes, Milkshake. If you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing to our channel and backing us on Patreon.